My husband and I once got into a conversation with a pair of street preachers. Today's viewer question will help you evangelize Protestants who don't always feel very positive about Catholic beliefs. How do I evangelize our Protestant friends who have been taught a lot of falsehoods about Catholicism? First, keep your cool. My husband and I were enjoying lunch when a pair of street preachers began standing right outside of our cafe, holding microphones and citing Bible verses. It didn't take long before they said something untruthful and bitter about Catholics. So, Ray and I finished our lunch and walked over to chat with them about what the Bible really teaches about the priesthood and what Catholics really believe. It was critical, however, that we remained patient and loving during our conversation. No matter what we were to say, if we didn't say it with love and respect, they wouldn't be inclined to listen, which would ultimately result in their concluding that Catholics were just like they thought. Second, always bring the conversation back to authority. If you want to share the truth about some teaching with Protestant Christians, you'll need to bring up the issue of authority. How do they know which books are in the Bible? And how do they know they're interpreting those biblical books correctly? For example, the New Testament canon wasn't finalized until a few hundred years after Jesus founded his church, and yet the church survived. She survived in part through the oral teaching, sacred tradition handed down from the apostles by their successors, the Pope, and the bishops in communion with him. These make up the church's magisterium, her teaching authority, who can assure us which books belong in the Bible and how to understand them correctly. So we can affirm our Protestant friends for their knowledge of Scripture, but we should invite them to know it better. A great way for them and us to do so is to read the Bible along with the Catechism of the Catholic Church. We'll see more clearly how Christ has sustained his church since founding it on St. Peter and the other apostles almost 2,000 years ago. Finally, extend an invitation. Many Protestants have never been evangelized by a Catholic. They are used to doing the evangelizing, trying to persuade Catholics to recognize the supposed falsehoods of our faith. Be the Catholic who invites them to learn more about Catholicism, to challenge themselves to learn what Catholics really believe, through a great book or a website like catholicscomehome.org or catholic.com. Make sure that you offer your prayers for them too. In fact, pray with them right there on the spot that God may draw all of you into the fullness of his truth. Invite them to Mass with you so that they can see how we worship Jesus in the church he gave to us and to all men and women.